Question. At a four-way stop, which vehicle should proceed first? Option number 1. The vehicle arriving last. Option number 2. The vehicle arriving first. Option number 3. Any vehicle which is on the left. Option number 4. Any vehicle which is on the right. The answer is option number 2. The vehicle arriving first. Note. At a four-way intersection where all drivers are faced with stop signs, all drivers must yield to pedestrians. Otherwise, the vehicle should proceed through the intersection in a first to arrive, first to proceed order. If two vehicles reach the intersection at approximately the same time, yield to any vehicles on your right. Question. The law gives dash the right of way. Option number 1. No one. Option number 2. Everyone. Option number 3. Only pedestrians. Option number 4. Both pedestrians and bicyclists. The answer is option number 1. No one. Note. The law gives the right of way to no one, but it does state who must yield, give up, the right of way. Every driver, motorcyclist, moped rider, bicyclist and pedestrian must do everything possible to avoid a crash. Question. When exiting a highway, you should slow down? Option number 1. On the main road just before the exit lane. Option number 2. Once you see a toll booth. Option number 3. Once you have moved into the exit lane. Option number 4. When you first see the exit sign. The answer is option number 3. Once you have moved into the exit lane. Note. When exiting a highway, you should get into the exit lane well in advance. Do not begin to slow down until you have moved into the exit lane. Question. If a car is tailgating you in the left lane of a highway, you should. Option number 1. Move your car into the left lane, slowly decrease speed. Option number 2. Move your car into the right lane, slowly decrease speed. Option number 3. Move your car into the right lane, slowly increase speed. Option number 4. Move your car in the left lane, slowly increase speed. The answer is option number 2. Move your car into the right lane, slowly decrease speed. Note. Tailgating is following another car too closely. If someone is following you too closely, be careful. Tap your brake lightly a few times to warn the tailgater that you are slowing down. Brake slowly before stopping. Avoid tailgaters when possible by changing lanes. If you cannot change lanes, slow down enough to encourage the tailgater to go around you. If this does not work, pull off the road when safe and let the tailgater pass. Question. The 4-second rule refers to how one should. Option number 1. Yield to other cars. Option number 2. Turn at stop signs. Option number 3. Follow another car. Option number 4. Cross an intersection. The answer is option number 3. Follow another car. Note. On dry pavement, you should generally allow a cushion of at least 4 seconds between you and the vehicle ahead. Question. When making a turn, you must dash your speed. Option number 1. Increase. Option number 2. Reduce. Option number 3. Maintain. Option number 4. Vary. The answer is option number 2. Reduce. Note. When turning, you should reduce the speed that allows you to maintain control of your vehicle, stay in your lane, and react to unexpected situations. Question. The maximum speed limit in this state is dash miles per hour. Option number 1. 50 miles per hour. Option number 2. 60 miles per hour. Option number 3. 70 miles per hour. Option number 4. 80 miles per hour. The answer is option number 3. 70 miles per hour. Note. Maximum traveling speeds are determined based on the following general rules in Georgia unless otherwise posted. 30 miles per hour in any urban or residential district. 35 miles per hour on any unpaved county road. 70 miles per hour on a rural interstate. 65 miles per hour on a urban interstate or on a multi-lane divided highway. 55 miles per hour in all other areas. These are only general rules. Local jurisdictions, the Georgia Department of Transportation or the Georgia Department of Public Safety may deem it necessary to adjust speed limits based on local conditions, whether temporary or permanent. Question. The posted speed limits show option number 1. The maximum safe speed under ideal road and weather conditions. Option number 2. Only a recommended driving speed. Option number 3. The exact speed at which you must travel to avoid a ticket. Option number 4. The maximum safe driving speed under all road conditions. The answer is option number 1. The maximum safe speed under ideal road and weather conditions. Note. A speed limit sign shows the maximum legal driving speed for the stretch of highway where it is posted. Driving safely may require you to travel more slowly than the posted limit. When conditions are less than ideal, drivers should slow down. Question. The amount of space you need to cross traffic depends on the option number 1. Presence of a stop sign. Option number 2. Use of your turn signals. Option number 3. Cars behind you. Option number 4. Road conditions, weather conditions, and oncoming traffic. The answer is option number 4. Road conditions, weather conditions, and oncoming traffic. Note. The amount of space you need to cross traffic depends on the road conditions, weather conditions, and oncoming traffic. Question. Which of the following is true about driving across water on the roadway? Option number 1. As you drive faster, your tires become less effective. Option number 2. Water does not affect cars with good tires. Option number 3. Deep water is less dangerous than shallow water. Option number 4. As you decrease your speed, the roadway becomes more slippery. The answer is option number 1. As you drive faster, your tires become less effective. Note. The faster you drive on a wet road, the less effective your tires will be at wiping the water from the road. If your speed becomes excessive enough, your tires will lose their grip on the road entirely and you will begin to hydroplane, that is to slide down the road on a thin layer of water. Question. Roads freeze more quickly when they are option number 1. Flat. Option number 2. Shaded. Option number 3. Curvy. Option number 4. In the sun. The answer is option number 2. Shaded. Note. In cold or wet weather, you should take special care on sections of road that are shaded by trees or buildings. These areas freeze more quickly than the rest of the road and are last part of the road to dry. Question. Hydroplaning is usually caused by option number 1. Excessive stops. Option number 2. Sudden stops. Option number 3. Sudden turns. Option number 4. Excessive speed. The answer is option number 4. Excessive speed. Note. Your tires become less effective at cleaning water from the road as you increase your speed. If you drive too fast, they may lose their grip entirely, leaving the vehicle sliding on a thin layer of water. This is known as hydroplaning. Question. If your brakes fail while driving, you should option number 1. Switch to a higher gear and press the gas pedal. Option number 2. Switch to neutral and coast. Option number 3. Switch to a lower gear and pump your brakes. Option number 4. Turn off the ignition. The answer is option number 3. Switch to a lower gear and pump your brakes. Note. If your brakes fail while you are on the road, Your first response should be to switch into a lower gear and begin to pump your brake pedal to build up pressure to stop your vehicle. Find a safe place to stop the vehicle and do not drive it again until the brakes have been fixed. Question: if your car breaks down on a highway, you should: option number 1, sit in your car and wait for help. Option number 2, use your four-way flashes to warn other drivers. Option number 3, sound your horn at passing motorists. Option number 4, flash your headlights at oncoming traffic. The answer is option number 2. Use your four-way flashes to warn other drivers. Note: if your vehicle breaks down on the highway, you should signal before carefully exiting the roadway and turning your hazard flashers. Get as far off the road as possible and park in a location where other drivers can easily see you. Lift your hood to let other drivers know your vehicle is disabled. Question: an orange triangle on the back of a vehicle indicates that a vehicle: option number 1, is a slow moving vehicle. Option number 2, is an ambulance. Option number 3, is a school bus. Option number 4, is broken. The answer is option number 1, is a slow moving vehicle. Note: a vehicle displaying this emblem is a slow moving vehicle. A slow moving vehicle is defined as any vehicle moving less than 25 miles per hour. They are required by law to display this emblem. You may see this decal on construction equipment, farm vehicles, and horse-drawn wagons or carriages. Question: at night it is hardest to see. Option number 1, road signs. Option number 2, pedestrians. Option number 3, other motorists. Option number 4, street lights. The answer is option number 2, pedestrians. Note: compared to signs and other roadside objects, pedestrians are hardest to see at night. Question: when a truck driver behind you wants to pass your vehicle, option number 1, you should stop. Option number 2, you should change lanes. Option number 3, your speed should increase. Option number 4, your speed should remain steady or decrease. The answer is option number 4, your speed should remain steady or decrease. Note: when a truck passes your vehicle, you will make it easier and safer for the truck driver if you reduce your speed slightly and then keep your reduced speed steady. In any event, do not increase your speed while the truck is passing you. Question: when sharing the road with a truck, it is important to remember that in general, trucks, option number 1, require longer distance to stop than smaller vehicles do. Option number 2, require less time to pass on a downgrade than smaller vehicles do. Option number 3, require a smaller turning radius than smaller vehicles do. Option number 4, require less time to pass on an incline than smaller vehicles do. The answer is option number 1, require longer distance to stop than smaller vehicles do. Note: because of their size, trucks need longer distances to stop than smaller vehicles do. Question: if you stop at a railroad crossing with more than one track, option number 1, go through when one of the tracks is free. Option number 2, wait to proceed until you have a clear view of all tracks. Option number 3, stop on the first railroad track and watch for another train. Option number 4, go through as soon as the train passes. The answer is option number 2, wait to proceed until you have a clear view of all tracks. Note: if you are stopped at a railroad crossing with more than one track, do not start moving as soon as a train passes. Wait until you have a clear view down all tracks before you start across. Even where there is only one track, do not start across immediately after a train passes. Check again for another train that may be approaching. Question: when a school bus has its lights flashing and its top arm extended, you must: Option number 1. Stop if the bus is on the opposite side of a barrier. Option number 2. Drive slowly past the bus. Option number 3. Stop at least 10 feet away from the bus. Option number 4. Pass if children have exited the bus. The answer is option number 3. Stop at least 10 feet away from the bus. Note: when a school bus is flashing its red lights and its top arm extended, you are required to stop at least 10 feet away from the bus, unless the bus is stopped on the opposite side of a divided highway. Question: before passing another vehicle, you should: option number 1. Flash your headlights to alert the driver. Option number 2. Turn on your four-way flashes to warn the driver. Option number 3. Give the proper turn signal to show that you are changing lanes. Option number 4. Sound your horn to get the driver's attention. The answer is option number 3. Give the proper turn signal to show that you are changing lanes. Note: before passing, make sure the passing lane is clear and activate the proper turn signal to show you are going to change lanes. Signal early enough for other drivers to know your plans in advance. Question: after a train has passed, you should: option number 1. Check again for approaching trains and proceed with caution. Option number 2. Wait for a green light. Option number 3. Immediately proceed across the tracks. Option number 4. Blow your horn and proceed. The answer is option number 1. Check again for approaching trains and proceed with caution. Note: even at railroad crossing with only one track, you should not immediately start across after a train has passed. Always check for other approaching trains before proceeding. Question: before changing lanes on a multi-lane highway, you should: option number 1. Sound your horn. Option number 2. Turn on your headlights. Option number 3. Reduce your speed. Option number 4. Check your mirrors and blind spots. The answer is option number 4. Check your mirrors and blind spots. Note: before changing lanes, you should look in your rear view and side mirrors to make sure no one is trying to pass you. You should also look over your shoulder to make sure that no one is in your blind spot. Question: if your turn signals fail, you should use dash to indicate you are turning. Option number 1. Your horn. Option number 2. Your headlights. Option number 3. Hand signals. Option number 4. Your emergency flashes. The answer is option number 3. Hand signals. Note: if your vehicle's turn signals do not work, you should use hand signals to indicate that when you intend to change directions. Question: you should honk your horn when you: option number 1. Are traveling through an intersection. Option number 2. Are passing a bicyclist. Option number 3. See a child who is about to run into the street. Option number 4. Are parallel parking. The answer is option number 3. See a child who is about to run into the street. Note: your horn should be used as a warning in situations where you think another driver or a pedestrian does not see you. For example, if a child begins to run into the street in front of your vehicle, you should sound your horn. Question: you must use your headlights when other vehicles are not visible from dash feet away. Option number 1. 1000. Option number 2. 1500. Option number 3. 1800. Option number 4. 1200. The answer is option number 1. 1000. Note: state law requires you to use your headlights anytime you cannot see pedestrians or other vehicles on the highway for a distance of 1000 feet ahead of your vehicle. Question: if a vehicle using high beams comes towards you, you should: option number 1. Turn on your high beams. Option number 2. Turn off your headlights. Option number 3. Sound your horn. Option number 4. Flash your high beams. The answer is option number 4. Flash your high beams. Note: if a vehicle using high beams comes towards you, flash your high beams quickly a few times. If the driver does not dim their lights, look towards the right side of the road. This will keep you from being blinded by other vehicles' headlights. Question: if a vehicle using high beams comes towards you, you should look towards dash of the road. Option number 1, either side. Option number 2, the center. Option number 3, the right side. Option number 4, the left side. The answer is option number 3, the right side. Note: if a vehicle approaching you is using its high beams and fails to dim them, you should glance towards the right side of the road. This will keep you from being blinded by other vehicle headlights and will allow you to see well enough to stay on your course until vehicle passes. Question: your brake lights tell other drivers that you, option number 1, are making a turn. Option number 2, are slowing down or stopping. Option number 3, have your emergency brake on. Option number 4, are changing lanes. The answer is option number 2, are slowing down or stopping. Note: your vehicle's brake lights indicates other drivers that you are slowing down or stopping. Your brake lights should always be in working order when you are driving on any roadway. Question: when you see an emergency vehicle with flashing lights, you must, option number 1, slow down and keep moving in your lane. Option number 2, keep driving in your lane. Option number 3, pull to the right curb and stop. Option number 4, stop exactly where you are. The answer is option number 3, pull to the right curb and stop. Note: when you see an emergency vehicle using its lights and hear it using its siren, you must immediately pull over to the curb or side of the road and stop.